Tech Stocks and Jobs. We are episode 37, where we are uh, going to do some deep dives today into some information. I have just some facts and figures that I want to go over, and as well as introduce you to our website. If you've never been here before, you don't know who we are. I'm Tam. D's in the background. We do have a community, and the community is called Women in Linux. If you want to connect with us, you can connect with us here by hitting Slack, putting your email address, and that's going to take you to our. That's gonna you need the Slack app, and you'll get signed in the Slack, where we uh, push all our content right now too. That may change. I'm thinking about it. Let's see. If you want to know more about us, you can link here, or you can come on stage on the second show that starts at 2 o'clock, which is How We Linux, and that's more informative in terms of, hey, here's where I see Linux going. Here's where the tech industry is moving to. Just some facts and figures on that. And if you want to shop with us, if you're looking for merchandise, you can click on shop, and you can hit all products. Once you hit all products, again, this is our 5 year anniversary site. We do have other products that don't have the 5 year anniversary. I'm wearing a raglan right now. Those that have ordered the sweatshirts, the onesies, the anything else. I think somebody had a cap. Uh, and that's another thing. We do giveaways on the show. So we've given away plenty of things, from money to classes to, and if you're part of the Slack group, you see all the free stuff that we'll post on line for training, job offers. I shouldn't say job offers, job opportunities, uh, interviews, scholarships. I mean, I can go on, but if you're not part of the Slack group, you would never know. So get a part, become a part of the Slack group. Other one is, if you can't donate your money or whatnot, you can donate with your time. You can also donate on YouTube as well too, super chats, super stickers, what have you. But as well, if you want to donate in other ways, you're more than welcome to, such as a training or whatnot. Um, we also have some paid opportunities, but again, you got to be willing to make the effort. If you're not willing to make the effort, then we I guess there's no conversation, right? So again, we're Women in Linux, and this is Tech Stocks and Jobs. All right, so let's close this off. Let's get my first one open up. Oh, and while I'm doing this, let me also make sure I give my shout out. Oh yeah, two other things. Uh, don't forget to sign up with IT Pro TV. If you've never been to IT Pro TV, we do have a discount code, IT Pro TV. We do have a discount code where you can go watch and learn. Basically, the way they work is they have their courses. Let me see. Yeah, they got a practice lab too. But anyway, they have their courses. It's more of, whereas a cloud guru, well, I say this, a cloud guru does have a person, but Linux Academy has a voiceover video versus IT Pro TV has a person, and you're reading, and that person is reading to you, as well as the Red Hat RCSA class. You can read the material, or you can watch what the person is actually doing. So there's a some type of human connection. So we always tell you, understand how you learn, and I've gone over that several times and so forth. So again, uh, this is IT Pro TV. The discount code is Women in Linux. The other thing that I forgot, if you want to have a one-on-one with us on career development, career assessment, resume review, or whatnot, you can hit us up on Calendly for a one-on-one. If you're in the Slack group, you can go to the one-on-one Slack channel, and from there you can should be a link in there where you can hit us up. They revamped. Okay, cool. Um, so let me see who's here. What's going on, friend? Tanya, what's going on? Takesha, Tashika, not Takesha. Sorry. And what's up? What's up, Brown Foxy? How y'all doing this morning? How's everybody doing? All right, so let's get into this. So, um, let's see. I forget what this one is. Hold on, let me look. Oh yes, Plantier. All right, so I talked about Plantier earlier this year, but I want to really get back into Plantier. I forget what their ticker symbol is. We'll look it up. I think it's is it Plan or PL? I'm not sure. I can't remember. But anyway, Plantier stock rallies more than 10%. $823 million Army contract. Um, we will be having Eric Coffey come on to the show to talk about government contracting. But I have my own set of information on government contracting. If you're in our Slack group, you should see all the billion-dollar contracts that come through. Why do we have that in the Slack? So you can see where money is being spent. Number one, what companies are spending the money, and number three, what opportunities uh, await you in terms of, hey, if I created a company, could I create a company around this and then go from there? Yep. Yeah, I hear you say everybody trying to get away from government contracting, and what's funny about that to me is I don't know a company that doesn't get government money, right? Amazon, Apple, Facebook, they all in some shape or form do government contracting. So everybody eats. Let's say that. All right. So Plantier, let's go look them up. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. Check them out. Let's look up Plantier. And a plan. They go and a plan. What is Plantier? I don't know. Oh, did they go yet? Did they IPO yet? I thought they IPO'd already. Let's look it up. I think they IPO'd already. Let's see. That was in 2020. Yeah, they IPO'd already. What is? Let's see. What is it? PLTR? There it is. PLTR right here. 23. Let's look at what they've been doing for the past 6 months. So they've been on a roller coaster here. They had a run up in June and then a dip and then they ran back up. So that's 28.71. They were at 27.38. So they're on a dip right now at 28,770. So some people like investing in Palantir, some people don't. It's controversial because they're like, oh my God, they're doing government contracting. They're working with the government, this, that, and the other, but yet and still Tesla and SpaceX works with the government and Amazon works with the government and everybody still work for them. But go figure. All right. Yeah, go figure, right? All right, so I don't know if you all ever heard of this ETF, and this ETF is called Devo, and it's been on a run. But let me show you why. So here's the holdings for this particular ETF, right? Amplify ETF Devo Holdings, DIVO, right? United Healthcare Group, Microsoft, Chevron, Apple, McDonald's, Visa, Goldman Sachs, Honeywell, JP Morgan, Newmount Corporation. We should look them up. I've never heard of them. Let's grab that. We'll come back. Caterpillar, we heard of them. Home Depot, Intercontinental Exchange Inc., Walmart, Nike, Procter and Gamble, CSX Corporation, Medtronics PLC. Let's grab them. Duke Energy, Johnson and Johnson, Verizon's 3M, Dow, Marathon Peak Corporation, Apple, Caterpillar CLL, opportunity. I'm not sure what the difference is. There must be some other holding that they have on the Caterpillar, and then Visa, and then the other one is cash, and they have $75 million in cash, which is 10% of the holdings, right? And then they show, if you look at this, it shows the number of shares that they have and the market value they have with them with those shares, right? Right, and you can see here at see five. Let me look at that's the market value. Yeah, let's look at five. Yeah, the number one market share they have is in United Healthcare Group, followed by Microsoft, and we're going to talk about Microsoft today. Um, you, yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. So I just wanted to pull that out and mention. Check out DIVO. All right, let me go look at that. DIVO ETF. All right. Let's see, Yahoo Finance right here. All right, at 35, you can see what they've been looking like for a day. There was a ramp up here, here up to 35, and then it was 35.93, and then a dip down here at 35.88. Right. So what they look like over 6 months, what they look like over a year, you can see some growth, and I guess kind of a trail off here around the 35 mark. 1 year. Yeah, so it looks like they probably only been around for a year or so, right? Because I look at a year and then I look at it a 5 year, right? All right. So see, yeah, see, they don't have no 5 year trends. It look like they only been around. This is fairly new. Uh, CWB Enhanced Income ETF, highly proven. This was in June. Let's look and see what we can find on the DVIO ETF and see what people are just talking about here. We got any info out there? Let's see if they just got, yeah, they just got the range. This investment seeks to provide current income as its primary investment objective, to provide capital appreciation as a secondary. Under normal circumstances, the funds invest at least 80% of its total assets in dividend paying U.S. exchange traded equity, or securities, equity securities, and will opportunistically utilize, thank you, Advisor Weekly, an option strategy consisting of selling U.S. exchange traded funds, right? The fund is non-diversified, but you can see where they have all their investments at, right? And so the two companies that I didn't recognize is New Mount Corporation. Let's see. Uh, New Mount has the largest gold reserve base in the industry, underpinned by our world class bodies of in top jurisdictions. So, New World has the largest gold reserve base. All right. So let's go look at about us. Let's look at um, about mining. So they mine gold. All right. So I don't know if you've been paying attention to gold and silver lately. Just give you FYI on this. One now uh, passed on from a young lady who's Indian who lives um, on a reservation, as well as uh, she does a lot of other things. But anyway, she was like, whenever we get a chance, we buy, and you saw this on Erica's show, subdivisions. So they buy real estate and they buy gold and silver, right? So it's just an FYI of what they do. And there is, uh, I was looking this morning, there's an article out on the rise of Indians in the US. Like when I say that, I'm talking Native Americans in the U.S., and what their outlook is in terms of representation in across the board. So that was from Nielsen. So I'll pull that up. All right. So they mine gold. So that's what they're talking about with reserves, and then Medtronic looks like tapping the potential patients, caregivers. Look, see, look like they're international. They're an international company. About Medtronic. our company overview. Let me blow this up some. We believe in the power of medical technology to improve lives. 7 decades ago, our co-founder invented the battery-powered pacemaker. Today, we're among the largest medical device companies in the world. There you go. With operations in 150 countries, our products treat 70 health conditions and include cardiac devices, cranial and spine robotics, insulin pumps, surgical tools, patient systems, and so forth, right? So while we're here, what do we always do at Tech Stocks and Jobs? We check out jobs, right? So let's go back and check out the jobs. Let me unsupersize this. Right? And let's go down here to their careers. Did I click on careers? I clicked so fast. Let me make sure that I click on careers. Yeah, I didn't think I did. Let me go back down here again. Okay. Yep. I figured I didn't. Okay. So they got culture, early careers, inclusion and diversity, and then engineering. Right. So let's go here. Let's search jobs. You can join them on Facebook. They're on Facebook. I guess we should talk about that, huh? Should we talk about Facebook and Instagram being down? Let me do this. Let me open this up in Firefox because I don't want to accept cookies. Let's go here and let me cut and paste, and then I'll bring my screen over. Don't allow. Oh, it's same thing over there too, but don't allow. All right, all right. So let's look at this. And this seems awfully huge, but I guess we need it to be big. All right, let's scroll down here. All right, so engineering, and then let's see what we're doing here in engineering. Do they have anything? Okay, software careers with meaning, manufacturing and quality, make it happen. Let's. Oh, they got hardware too. They got hardware jobs, right? All right, so let's go search jobs again. Don't allow. And then let's just type in sure, let's do engineering search. You gonna come back anything? Okay. By default, I guess. Well, you can put in anything, right? So let's stick to the United States. Okay, we got senior product engineer, equipment maintenance, preen design automation engineer, senior electrical engineering project engineering manager for electrical engineering, power computing, and vision, senior systems engineer, senior design quality engineer. And it looks like down here on my left, it looks like it breaks down categories here. Administrative services, business analytics and consulting, compliance. Let's do compliance. Let's do IT. Let's do some research and development. Let's do sales and marketing and business strategy and business. We could look at supply chain and let's submit that. And then it's going to refresh for us. Okay, engineering manager, principal front end, associate clinical specialist, associate technical sourcing specialist, senior principal scientist, a director of commercial operations, surgical robot, a microbiologist, and then the list goes on. The pages go on, right? So a wide variety of fields here when we're talking about this. Um, so open to everybody. They're international. I always tell people this: look at a job, look at a company where you can go international with a company. So you may work in a position here in the United States, right, in Florida, and then you may leave Florida and go live in Texas and get tired of Texas and go live in Britain for a year or two, or you may go live in Amsterdam still working with the company. So yeah, that's where I what I would be looking at. If you're gonna work at a company like this, I would be looking, how can I travel with that company? How can I get in on different departments? What do they allow? In terms of like, oh, I want to go work on this engineering team in such and such location, right? So, little things like that I would be looking at. And then of course this that mining company that we had up here. What was it? New Mount something? I forget what it was. But yeah, check that out. All right, so we talked about did I talk about this last week? Um yeah, some people want to travel though. Some people want to travel. Well, some people want the ability to travel with their jobs, i.e., flight attendants or whatnot. So, yeah. All right, so quantum computer maker Rigetti, they're in a SPAC. They're going public in this SPAC deal. I told you before, and I'm gonna bring it up on the second show. My slides for uh, 2018 from Lisa, so you can see what I was talking about in 2018 and how some things have really taken off. I showed last week about the $728 million in investment inside of quantum computing and cloud computing. There is a need for DevSecOps in quantum computing. Um, I know because I've interviewed for it. Um, but there's also a need for, and it's not that you need to know quantum computing. It's not like that. There's also a need for security around the infrastructure of quantum computing as well too. So that's a big deal. All right. And now let's look up that company. I think that company was overseas. So let's go look this company up. It is called R.I. Rigetti. Rigetti. All right. Let's go check out their website. Here are their careers. They are not public yet. We believe that quantum computing will fundamentally change the world for better and will affect nearly every industry in the coming decades and so forth. A lot of researchers are in this area of I guess technology. You want to say technology? I showed you last week what IBM is using this in the new cars. We also showed you. I also showed you the idea of in the crypto space what quantum computing is going to be looking like. Um, I've also showed you um, when we start talking about autonomous cars as well too, what computing will look like. So let's look at what they have to offer in terms of jobs. Where what are they looking at, right? So job listings here: staff infrastructure software engineer, senior software engineer quantum compilation, senior software engineer, manager at quantum characterization, mechanical 3D packaging, uh, senior quantum engineer, hardware. So let's go look at their staff infrastructure engineer. All right. So with over 200 million in funding, we're now maturing and expanding our infrastructure engineering capabilities. The software engineer teams is to support and enable the development of our proprietary quantum computing hardware. As a staff infrastructure software engineer, you're responsible for building Rigetti's core cloud infrastructure. Again, it is not, you need to know how quantum computing works. You need to understand how to build and architect and design infrastructure around the processes and the needs of the jobs that are submitted to the cluster. So That's where you come. That's where your value is at, right? So this is a rare opportunity to combine on-site quantum infrastructure with modern cloud technology. As engineer leaders, we value and are committed to building a culture of inclusion to attract and engage and innovate thinkers. Let me say this and let me say this now. You think we're in here by the abundance, right? So again, you are a software generalist, like a lot of people tell you to be specialists. I tell you sometimes some companies really look for someone to be a generalist, so they because they need to know you need to know stuff just across the board. If they're building a cloud, you got to think they need somebody that understands hardware. They need someone that understands storage, someone that understands processes, someone that understands how computers work, operating systems, how to speed up and slow down the kernel, how to speed up and slow down a system, how does memory management work, how does networking work, right? Like you are the solution. So with that being said, you walk into a situation where you're building again. If you hop down here, 8 to 10 years of experience working in a Linux production environment. I don't know what else to tell you. Uh, you know, whatever. And I saw some comments in Slack where somebody was like, "Yeah, somebody they know changed their mind about the ARC CSA or whatnot." Okay, you still gonna have to learn Linux. I don't care if you go learn the cloud, you still gotta learn Linux. It's just the bottom line of it all. Experience with configuration and automation, proficient skills using Python, Ruby, and Go. I would add this. I would add Rust to this. All right. There's a new book out from Rust as well too. We need to start our book club. Understanding the systems and networking, hybrid, public and hybrid clouds, containerization frameworks, and experience or exposure. Meaning, if you don't have it, I'm okay with that. But do you at least know what it is to front end development? iStack includes, but not limited to Python, Flask, Asino, Asino, Asinio, Go, Postgres, AWS, Kubernetes. I tell you the baseline all the time. Linux, security, pick a cloud, uh, and go from there as a baseline. And then you can add in a fourth one for your uh, learning a programming language such as Python or Rust or and the reason why I say Rust, that's centered around AI and machine learning. So is Python, Flask as well for applications or creating apps, right? Flask, Django or Django. I should say Django. Those things. And so here's the 401k plan, a generous equity grant. You have no idea what that is. 98% coverage of medical, um, Blue Cross Blue Shield life insurance at no cost to the employee, opportunities for performance based equity grants or bonuses. They have flexible PTO, fitness gyms, 16-week paid leave, FSA and commuter benefits, employment assistance program, and flexible work schedule. Not bad. They're in Berkeley. Um, so if you're in Berkeley or want to get in, that there you go. Let's see, what is everybody talking about here? Yep, that was another ransom attack. Let me see. Yep. All right, so here's that. That's that. Now I did have this saved in my think. So I don't know if you all have been following this. It was from Duke. I need to finish looking at it. I haven't looked at it, but I wanted to bring this up. Did you know about the Global Infrastructure Fund, right? The Global Infrastructure Fund. Did you know about all of the different countries coming together to agree on what engineers what type of technologies and so forth that they want to see in the future, and there's a fund, right? Right. So, um, this global infrastructure fund, Dee could drop this link. Here's an overview. Um, So here, the investment objective of this fund is to achieve total return through investments in U.S. and non-U.S. equity securities issued by the infrastructure companies. Infrastructure companies typically provide physical framework that society requires to function, right? So these are international, really, this global fund, and this particular show that I was looking at was on more or less talking about what technologies are going to be coming forth really for the next decade, and where these infrastructure companies are pushing communities as they build them out towards, right? So you so when we're talking about what happens in, say, a community in Turkey, and as far as infrastructure goes, um, that this is where this stuff comes from, right? Right. So let's look at some insights here. Here's a list of real estate, and I'll pull up the. Um, I had to look at my Duke. I had to look that up real quick. Hold on. Let me look on my YouTube. Hold on. And let me look up this. It was from Duke. I was watching it, and that's why I was curious about, like, okay, what who's all involved in this, and how do we get more in this? Okay, so this one was 5 months ago, but let me pull this over so you can see what I'm looking at. All right. So the rise and of modern plug-in devices, public policy, innovation, and strategy. Another one from Duke was, and there's another one. It's under global infrastructure, but they talk about water. They also talk about AI. Um, of course, health. As you see, United Health is one part of that DVI fund, right? Um, Let me see. And I got when I go and find this, it was a hour and a half long on this global infrastructure. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my history and pull it up, and I'll share it with you. But anyway, this particular fund, here's a company, right? This particular company here. Here's what they're dedicated co-investors and leading global investment manager, specializing in real assets. Blah 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 blah, and their locations, right? And the fund performance. Click on that. Here we go. And so that's small. All right, so here the 12-month yield, like this one, Class Z DVFZFZX. That's a 4.55, really low. There's another one at 5, RRFAX, right? Just so you can go through theirs, but really what you should be doing is looking at what do these funds actually hold, and then what are they what are they funding for? So that's the 12-month distribution year. Here's the yield return right here, right? DV F FAX 15 15.29% year to date return. And then they break down each one, right? So you have that particular one to check out if you want to check out the global infrastructure fund. But there's also a global infrastructure committee, and in that committee are different infrastructure companies, and that set forth and tell you what's gonna, what the how to build out, what technologies that they're using and injecting into different areas in inside of the US. Did I save it? Oh, hold on. I might have saved it. I might have been smart and saved it. See, I hadn't finished it. Oh yeah, the Great Infrastructure Game. Yep, here we go. John Hope Franklin Center at Duke University. The Great Infrastructure Game. It only got 33 views. Came out October the 6th, right? And I can just kind of skip through this, right? I'll pause that. And we can kind of skip through it. China's growth. We talked a lot about that. What does that look like? And then this is where I got the Global Infrastructure Fund from. Um, and here is the right here setting the standard for the global infrastructure development again at the G7. What does that look like? Let me blow that out. Uh, can I see that? Open and inclusive, transparent, accountable, financially sustainable. Yeah, let me keep going. Let's keep going. The Global Gateway Initiative. Global Gateway Initiative. All right. Um, how this is going to affect for carbon. We're going out to 2030. What projects are doing? We need to decrease by um, I think it's 1.5 degrees. What needs to take place around the world in order to do that? What companies are involved with that and working towards that and building communities around that? Um, let me keep going. Conclusions and uncertainties. They were talking about stuff going on with China. Um, let's see. I'm skipping through it here, trying to just highlight the slides. I think that was all. I haven't finished. I haven't finished this yet. Right. So you can check that out. It's on YouTube, and you can look up the initiative as well too, who's involved in it, and and that's going to give you an idea where money is being funded to, one from the government, two from an international perspective, and three, how can you create a company that assists with those particular programs, right? All goes back to building out your stuff, right? All right. Um, I don't know if you've been following what's going on with fintech, but I thought I would bring this up. So this came out October the 7th. Stacey Abrams uh, had a 7-page deck that wants to help small business grow fiercely and use to raise $29 million. So she's creating these two together created a fintech company, right? Created a fintech company, right? The company was co-founded by Stacey Abrams and Laura Hodgson in 2010. Now raised 29 million in an extension of a Series A with a 7-page pitch deck. And I think I can get access to the pitch deck. Let me see if there's a link for it. Here is the pitch deck now. Blah blah blah. Okay, is this now? Okay, here's the pitch deck. Now's the mission to enable business to grow fiercely. Talks about her. Gives a little background on the B2B. Um, where they're at, deliver goods, choose to accelerate invoice payment with your account, get paid within a day, and then so forth. And then, of course, you can't see this text, right? Of course, you can't see that, right? And then I guess these the portfolio summary here. Let me look and see if I can get more information on that portfolio summary. Maybe moving too fast. Hold on. Click on it and get down to the bottom. Hold on. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. I guess I can't. Go back out here. Check out the deck. Here we go. All right. You're in the way. That's after these advertisements. There we go. Not coming in. Awesome. There we go. All right. I couldn't blow that up, but I can blow this up. Here we go. I don't know. That looks blurred to me. I hope that's not blurred to you. But it says 1,000 clients sell to 10,000 obligators, $100 million bonded authorized, DSO 60 days, and this is the portfolio of it. And this right here is super small to me, and it's blurry. So I don't know if it's blurry on purpose or whatnot. I think you can probably download this deck if you have it, right? So that's one to let you know about that, about her fintech company, right? And I showed you how much is going into fintech. I think we're at what I think it was 8 billion or is it 14 billion going into fintech. All right, so don't know if you all are aware of this Airtable. Airtable has hired over 500 workers during the pandemic, but it's not stopping. It has an ambitious plan to double its workforce to 1,000 employees. Right. So Airtable, the Airtable IPO yet? Investor sale IPO. That's on Forge. Okay, this is March 2021. Airtable is now valued at 5.77 billion with 270 million in Series E funding. Um, see, the latest round was led by Green Oaks, and this was in March. This was in March. I don't know if they IPO'd yet. It don't look like it, but at least you know where they're at, and they're looking to grow their staff to 1,000. All right. So Airtable hasn't grown yet, or I mean hasn't IPO'd yet. All right. The next big one, I know everybody probably might have heard about this, but I don't know. Did you hear about Google has a new plan to train 40 million people to become cloud experts, addressing the major concern of its partners? 40 million, right? I didn't say 400,000. I didn't say 40 people. I didn't say 750,000. I said 40 million, right? 40 million, right? So this is what we're talking about when I'm telling you how things are moving, and you don't think Google is in quantum as well too, right? All right, Google announcement as the impact all major platforms, all major cloud platforms. That means Oracle, Google, Azure, Amazon. Everybody has a shortage, right? When it comes to IT infrastructure, and I tell you all about DevSecOps, and I'm telling you about automation and security for the next 10 to 15, 20 years. You could do this work for 20 years, right? But you're going to have to stack your skills. You're going to have to move with time, of course, but infrastructure's not, the cloud's not going anywhere. People are not going to stop having stuff on prem. The data center is on prem. Um, like the cloud is on prem, right? It's just not going anywhere. It's just you're never gonna be without a job, right? All right. So the training program itself will see Google launch a site that has over 700 programs to earn certifications in AI, machine learning, data analytics, security, application development, and cloud architecture. People who sign up can also receive a free month access to the program. It's also partnering with Coursera to support Google Cloud content on its site. The cloud skills can pay well. The two IT certifications that qualify holders for the highest paying jobs at Google Cloud, according to Google Knowledge. Um, the Google's cloud big growth push against the market leading. Yeah, they're just trying to get people trained up, right? Just trying to get people trained up, right? Again, if you understand how to create pipelines, you understand how to create security or integrate security into those pipelines and make applications, you're just not gonna never not have a job, right? All right, so let's see who we got in here now. What's going on, Colton Evelyn? Evelyn, oh yeah, you did you get the joint? Did you get the notification? Yep. Oh, thank you, Unistem, for showing love there. Grizo, is that a Grisoy? I may be saying that wrong. Forgive me. Yeah, if you train the workforce, you influence which cloud provider will be chosen. Yeah, the other thing that influences the cloud providers is, mm, to be honest with you, that it what also influence the cloud providers is government contracting, right? If I am if I'm dumping and no one even talked about it, everybody was worried about the Jedi project, that $10 billion, that was pennies, and that Jedi was pennies. You didn't no one heard about the talked about it. It was talked about, but it wasn't broadcasted. The cloud, the multi-cloud strategy initiative. Well, all three vendors won. They were already chosen, right? And that one 10 billion. It was significantly more than that. So nobody even talked about it. Didn't even see it, right? So, and when I say significantly more, we're talking about an easy 40 billion. And that wasn't even talked about. All right, we all know. We all saw this headquarters Tesla moving. I was reading they'll be close to SpaceX, which is in Boca, Texas. Boca, Boca, Boca Chica, or Chia. That's what it is. Maybe Boca, Boca. I screw up. Man, here we go. And we type in SpaceX. Right. Yeah, Boca. That's right. And moving closer to that. You want to be close to that. South Padre Island. If you're familiar with what was it? Is it San Marcos or where the outlets are at? And out in the Austin area. Well, outside of Austin. It's not in Austin. It's outside of Austin. The outlets are out there, right? So again, we all saw. I think we all kind of saw this coming. Tesla will be there. With government contracts, they want you to get I mean, all most of the companies want you to get the jab. Yeah, most companies want you to get the jab. That's what it's coming down to. They hadn't all enforced it yet, but that's what it's coming down to. I'm not gonna go through Tesla and the jobs that they have. I think you kind of got the idea of what's going on with Tesla, from SpaceX to autonomous cars to, I would not be surprised if they built their own chip. I wouldn't be surprised if they built their own cloud. They're already into logistics. They already have their own. I would not be surprised if they have their own plane. They're already doing satellites and launching rockets, right? So Starlink, right? So they're already they're already globally connected, around for whatever they. they need, right? Um, we already talked about um, underwater data centers as well too, and we saw the cables that cable that was being ran around Africa last week. I showed you that, right? Business Insider. Wind turbine techs get paid $27 to do one of the most dangerous jobs and professions is growing, and the profession is growing. Who do I see taking over this? Um, Eventually, I see drones doing this. Right? I see this as one of those things. You don't need a 4 year degree to do this. So wind turbine technicians. So those that are in Texas or where the wind turbine area, um, check it out. I mean, somebody may want to do this, right? But fastest growing. All right. So that? Did you know how much SpaceX was worth in February? Yep, Neuralink. So in February, and I got this, SpaceX was worth $74 billion. We are now in October, and they're worth 100 billion, right? And they just redid the package for Elon for him to get more money, for him to make more money, right? And to open up more things. Along with that, who's also heating up, and I talked about them before, Rocket Labs, right? Remember this? Remember I talked about this? It's been months about Rocket Labs, right? They've already launched 105 satellites, right? And here we talked about their careers and their scholarships, right? Remember this one? We talked about it months ago, right? Rocket Labs. What's their latest news they got? Rocket Lab selected to launch NASA's Advanced Composite Solar Cell System October the 6th. This announcement was made. Rocket Lab wins the $24 million Space Force contract to develop neutron upper stage. So, you know all about Space Force moving to Huntsville. You already know about that, right? Rocket Lab wins the contract to launch orbital debris removal dem- uh, demonstration missile for astroscale, right? This was September the 21st. Remember I talking about debris junk? Here's debris removal, right? All right. So when you start looking at space, and you think about who's launching, who's going to remove it, security in space around these satellites. Check out Rocket Labs, what SpaceX. Um, there's so much more, right? All right. So, and drop a one in the comments if you like this information, right? So, broadband firm Starry to go public in a SPAC deal for 1.7 billion. Who are they? All right, they agreed to in a merger with First Mark Horizon Acquisition Corporation, in a deal that would value the broadband services provider at 1.66 billion. Um, let's see. I reached my limit on these articles. That's awesome, but we can look that up. Starry Inc. Okay, here we go. PR news. All right, Start delivers a customer a high-speed fixed wireless broadband experience at a fraction of the cost of fiber through its unique end-to-end technology stack. Now you know I gotta go look at their technology stack. You know I gotta go look at that. Today's Starry network covers more than 4.7 million households across 6 markets. Starry is poised for rapid expansion and aims to cover 25 million households by 2026, and with a projected 1.4 million residential and small business subscribers. So let's go back and look at Starry. You know I gotta go check them out. And let's jump down here and see if we got some careers. So we got internet real estate partners. I want to look at that. Here go careers. Let's look at that. And let's look at their blog. Don't click on it. There we go. Let's look at their blog. And then let's look at investors. You know, I got to Chrome it, right? I got to Chrome their site. All right. So your residents want this want stories. So does the bottom line. We're proud to be partnering with our world leading residential owners, over 500 firms: JP Morgan, Blackstone, Amico, Greystar, PGM, Brookfield, and so forth. And they said 500, so there's more. But why is this important? Why do you care? Well, part of you should care is because people like your, it's not Blackstone, but BlackRock and Zillow and them buying up whole subdivisions. What better way to get in with a company that's at a cheaper price for, and then use them to come in and be the mainstay in your subdivision and wrap that under a HOA, right? So there you go. The internet is full. The internet is the future. It won't build itself. I said the internet is full. Network operations. They're out of Massachusetts. Manufacturing, marketing, growth, creative, finance, sales, co-op program. They got a co-op program for Android product management, RF engineer, system software, iOS deployment. This looks like more physical here. General data. They need senior GIS, director of analytics, service engineering, subscriber services, product engineering. Talked about product engineering, and product supply chain, right? So let's go look at the data. And let's go look at the data analytics engineer. It's out of New York. Let's blow it up. Let's go get the requirements first. Eagerness to build best in class data practice, experience with modeling, visualizing, and interpreting data, expert level SQL, scripting language Python. Familiarize yourself with modern data technologies such as Airflow, DBT, Snowflake, Redshift. We talked about Snowflake last week. Redshift, Docker, Git, Looker, Mode, Tableau. Enthusiasm for conducting reproducible analysis. We believe in code reviews, version control, solid documentation. Git flow, understand how that works, right? Ability to build collaborative, productive relationships with colleagues and teams. Can you talk? Soft skills, right? Skilled at working in an autonomous environment where you will work independently to execute. Be the solution. That's how I read that, right? So now let's go back up here and say what you'll be doing. Design and build, maintains scalable data models to power self-service business intelligence tools and promote data-driven decision making. Own data projects end-to-end, Airflow, DBT, and Looker. Analyze complex data sets, work with stakeholders, architect and maintain pipelines for moving data into various third-party services, build and maintain data sets, serve as a resident data quality advocate, and collaborate with engineering on infrastructure projects. Imagine. Proactively seek out and investigate new technologies to advance Starry's analytic practice. Right? Right? Here we go. Right? That's Starry. Let's see. Starry expands in New York City through a new partnership with the New York Housing Authority. Didn't I say that? Didn't I say if you want to get in, you would behoove you to partner the with people who are building or real estate right there. Here you go. right? Columbus, here we come. Starting Huckleberry House helped bridge the digital divide for Central Ohio youth at risk. Right? That's what I would be doing. That's how I would expand. Oh yeah, you got internet at a discount rate. We're cheaper than everybody else, and we're gonna build. Right? Transform America's broadband, and you can check them out. You can post these links or this link to their company, or you can look it up yourselves for that. Right? So, Starry. All right. Next one. All right. Science 37. I was looking at this and I was like, okay. The operating system for agile clinical trials closes business combination with life science acquisition and will begin trading on the NASDAQ as SNCE. Science 37 is to debut on the NASDAQ as a publicly traded company under SNCE. The business combination will provide Science 37 with approximately $235 million in cash. Science 37 to fuel its mission to enable universal access of clinical research, which has proven to accelerate patient enrollment, minimize patient burden, and include undeserved, underserved patient population. So you know what that sounds like to me. All right. The operating system for today's agile clinical trials announced today that it has completed its previously announced business combination with Science or Life Sci Acquisition, a blank check company targeting biopharma, medical technology, digital health, and healthcare services. Right? Science 37, check them out. Their IPO, and this was released on October the 7th. Today is the 9th, so that was Thursday. Right? Check them out. All right. All right. CompuSecure named New Jersey top innovator by New Jersey manufacturers. So I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're a leading provider of premium financial payment cards and emergent provider of cryptocurrency storage and security solutions. That's why I brought them up. Today announced it was named the winner of the 2021 New Jersey Innovator of let me see, yeah, the Year Award by the New Jersey Manufacturing Extension Program in NJMEP, right? CompuServe, right? CompuSecure. Oh no, CompuServe used to be a company, but CompuSecure. Let's go check them out. More than a card. Here's their cards that they have. Right, scrolling through their website. Here's their resources. Join our team. They're in New Jersey, administrative assistant, card finishing technician. I don't even know what a card finishing technician is. Never heard of that. Director of financial planning, head of marketing, janitor, parts inventory, payroll, process engineer, production manager, project manager, quality R&D, and mechanical. I have no idea what a car finishing technician does. This is neat. Never heard of it. All right. The position is responsible for setup, repair, preventive maintenance, and operation of equipment to achieve production goals with a high level detail or accuracy. The primary trainer for new hires in this machine operation includes documenting the training, lead the productivity, maintenance, and quality of the mobile equipment, complete responsibility of machine startup, shutdown, more hands on. But I've just I've never heard of someone that did it. You'll need a GED and or high school diploma. I must be able to add and subtract and divide. in all units of measure using whole numbers, common fractions, and decimals. It should have been and decimals, right? Um, the if y'all know if you ever went to Home Depot or Lowe's, I know I went to Home Depot. Have you ever tried to work at Home Depot? You know, you have to fill out, what a mile is, how to measure, this, that, and the other, right? Yeah, y'all ever check that out? But that's what that sounds like to me, right? And then we got two more, and we're gonna be able to wrap it up here. We're doing good. We're doing good. All right, brought this up. Microsoft buys buy Microsoft for its cloud and AI. But did you know Microsoft had bought this AI company? Right. Um, Here they're predicting, this is just a general, it's an opinion, that Microsoft will be at $420 per share over the next 3 years. I'm trying to see the company that they had bought. Its current market value is 2 trillion. The second largest company in the world. Let me see. I'm trying to find the AI company that they bought. Let me look it up. I thought it was on here. Right. Yep, right here. The company that they bought, Microsoft recent shopping spree reached a new climax this week, and they bought a company for 19.7 billion and Nuance, right? A company that provides speech recognition and conversational AI services, right? Nuance is best for its deep learning voice transcription service, which is very popular in the healthcare sector, right? Let's go check them out. Yeah, let's go down here. They got bought. Oh, I wonder if Microsoft just treats them separately. All right, corporate functions, professional services, all career students, R&D, engineering. See all job postings. All right, you can then just do IT, and let's just do the United States. Senior security analyst, IT network systems engineer, service reliability center principal engineer, and then a senior manager of network engineering. But they got bought by not AWS. They got bought by Microsoft. So these jobs, 9 times out of 10, they may treat them as their own separate division under Microsoft, and they just got to port their stuff to their servers. But they may still treat them separately. Like some companies are acquire hire. You're still your own little division, but you're under our AI division, and we hire you under here, and we have different perks over here than they do over there. So you never know, right? So check them out. There's no ticker symbol for them other than MSFT for Microsoft, because that's who bought them, right? All right. So let me see. I have one other thing. Let me see. I'm reading through it now. Make sure I don't need to say nothing. Oh, so I have a note in here, uh, uh, not about just about Tesla moving to Austin, but the note is about Tesla isn't the first company to move its headquarters out of California to Texas. I want to give you these names of who all else has moved. Uh, HP or HPE and Oracle have shifted their base from Silicon Valley to Houston. Charles Schwab relocated its headquarters to Dallas area from San Francisco. And Texas lawmakers have been encouraging migration from coast through a combination of lower taxes, financial incentives, and business friendly environment. So you could do Tesla tax incentives, uh, Austin. All right, so see that's 2021. I mean that's 20. Let's go here. Let's go to past month. All right, here we go. Under the 10-year deal, is this it? No. Let's see. Yeah. Under the 10-year deal, Tesla will pay property taxes only 20% of the factory's assessed value, a savings of 50 million to the school district. A Tesla representative said on June 23rd that Austin is at the top of its list, but economic incentives are required to make the economics of the factory work. So let's go here and see if they talk about the tax breaks in here. Let's see. By the way, let's look up tax. Let's look up breaks. All right. Texas Economic Development Act. And every city should have one of these. All right, let's check it out. All right, the Texas Economic Incentive offers a massive tax breaks to companies, but its renewal isn't a done deal. All right, so until I just want to see if they just lay out what the tax breaks are. Because that's how it happened with Atlanta trying to get some of that stuff. 13. They don't have what let's see. All right, that's less than okay. According to the most recent report on chapter 313. So I guess that's what you need to look up, chapter 313 from Texas comptroller. 220 school districts in the state have a total of 509 agreements with companies through the program. That's less than 20% of all Texas schools in the district. That okay. K through 12, 313. They don't have it in here. Let's go over here and check this out. Oh, good. Oh, little text that I will have to read through and pull out. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that on the live. All right. Let me see what we got over here. We got going. Yeah, Charles Schwab. Check that out. Oh, you guys having a conversation? Yeah, Texas has so has Atlanta, Florida, Texas, Atlanta, Florida. They all have their own incentive programs to move companies here. Uh, Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota has a big. Well, let's put it like this: Sarasota has a lot of money, so they have a big push to get a lot of big companies down there. Um, Sarasota Tech Initiative. So the economic development, um, Silicon Beach. I mean, the list goes on about who's down there. Um, I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of people. Um, what was the guy? He wasn't the founder. He was the yeah. He was the yeah. I think he was the founder of Dish Network, right? Before he sold. Got a chance to meet him. A lot of people out of Silicon Valley live in Sarasota. Uh, there's a group out there. We spoke on this before about the Well Group, but you need to have a minimum of $10 million to get into the group. Um, and they just go around and invest in startups, right? They evaluate them, invest in them, and keep growing their money. Right. So there's a lot of those out there. We got some people. We got someone coming on to talk about investments from that perspective, like raising capital. What does that look like, and so forth. So we talk about that. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Anybody? I'm making sure I missed no comments. You look like you guys are talking about it. You said Sarasota remote jobs. I don't know. It depends on the company you look at in Sarasota. So I don't know who in here eats who eats boar's head meat from the actual Publix counter or when you go get sandwiches, right? Did you know that Boar's Head is in Sarasota? And you can go here and look up their tech stuff. I don't know if she still works there or not. I will have to reach out to her. We got a friend that works over there. She was like a head of their IT department, right? So working at Board's Head, what do you get? Medical, vision, 401k, competitive salary, performance bonus, career advancements, paid time off, including holidays and vacation, flexible spending account, educational reimbursement, scholarships, recognition, and so forth. Let's see what they have as current jobs. Let's see, welcome, apply today. I don't. I guess they're not listed on their site. We'll go over here and look. So you can see here uh, where they're located at across the U.S. But you usually find them. And I clicked on view offerings. Let me see, apply today. I don't know what I'm applying for. Okay, I had to click on apply today. All right, so let's go look at reliability engineer. Um, see, look like they got truck driver, merchandise supervisor, um, senior management talent, R&D chef, general employee, paid media marketing manager, electrician, business development manager, um, tons of general employee work, and business development manager for this one too. That's in California, right? As far as their IT work, I know she was ahead. I think she was like ahead of like 30 people, learning and development specialist. So um, I'm not sure how they have their stuff stretched out here, for as like IT work. Like, hey, you need to maybe it's under something else, but that's what I got from her. All right, and that was all I had today for this show. The next show um, will be a doozy. Probably gonna um, offend some people, but it's gonna be okay. Uh, but be ready. Uh, Go have a brunch, lunch, or whatever. See you in an hour. We'll see you in less than an hour and 53 minutes. Be back at 2. Uh, until then, be safe.